Welcome back to the Ribbon by Ribbon video series. In this video, we're going to take a look at the page layout ribbon. The page layout ribbon should remind you of the old page setup dialog box that we had in previous versions of Microsoft Office. If I want to quickly access that old page setup dialog box, I can just point to the ribbon and double click, and voila, there it is. Something that looks familiar. I have a feeling that there are lots of options here that you've never explored. One way to find out about them is clicking the Help button. This Help page describes everything that can be set on this page, and you may find something here that you needed to use and didn't know that you could. So I recommend that you check that out in your spare time. Now, on with the video. The first thing I want to talk about are margins. The margins are the area between the edge of your page and where your text will begin. Word 2010 gives you these options to start with. Make it real easy for you, just select one and it sets them. This area on the ruler, this gray area, is the margin. This 1 out here at the edge tells you that you have a 1-inch margin. These tick marks are measures. This is ½ an inch. If I hold my mouse button over here and get it right in the middle, I get a two-headed arrow. It says left margin. I can adjust the margin right on my ruler. I now have a 1½ inch margin. I'll take it back to 1 inch. So setting margins is very easy. Whether it's the top margin, the left margin, the right, or the bottom, they all work the same way. I can set them here. I can go to custom margins. I can do it on the ruler. Orientation. The orientation is how the page will be laid out, portrait or landscape. By default, when you set margins or orientation for a document, those settings apply to the whole document. The way to set up a document so that you could have different margins or different orientation on different pages is to use this feature, the Breaks feature. This is a little more advanced than what we will be asked to really master in ITE 115, but it is so useful that I wanted to explain it to you. We've already talked about page breaks. Control-Enter, that was in the previous video. A column break indicates where you're going to stop one column and start a new one. Text wrapping, that's if you are wrapping around pictures and so forth. But these are the ones that I particularly want to talk to you about, section breaks. If you needed to have one page be landscape and one page be portrait, you could use the next page, break, and set that differently. So I can go in here, and this page will be set up landscape, this page is portrait. It's that simple. If you go to the Home button and turn on your Show Hide, you'll see where your breaks are. You'll see what kind of break they are, and if for some reason you've inserted one and you don't want it, they can certainly be deleted. The best way to delete the break is to press Return and get the break on a new line, select the break, and delete it. Notice that the other page is gone, the break is gone, and now I can turn off Show Hide. So next page is an easy way to jump to a new page and have it act differently. Continuous would allow me to have a break on this page. And again, it's always helpful to have Show Hide on so that you can see where your breaks are appearing. And I can do things in this section that are different from the previous section. When I'm working with tables, sometimes that's helpful. But notice that I can even have different margins in different sections on the same page. See how the margins are different? So breaks are great. A little more advanced than what I'll ask you to do in ITE 115, but I thought that you might like to know about them. Line numbers can be inserted in your document. Look at that. If you were working with legal documents, sometimes they need to have every line numbered. You can turn that on. And the rest of the options are things that we've looked at on the home button. We've got indentation and spacing. And one fun thing that you might like is borders. You even got 3D borders. You can have color. You can have all kinds of artistic borders. So that's fun if you're creating flyers and things. So the page layout ribbon has lots of fun features, but some that are a little bit more sophisticated than what we're going to be particularly using in ITE 115. If you want to explore those further, be sure to go to Help and search for that topic. This is the end